Alrighty, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of Dark Souls. When we last left off, we had just finished up things with the Artorias of the Abyss DLC by taking on and slaying the mighty Manus, Father of the Abyss. And in today's episode, we're going to be taking on another powerful, dangerous foe. In this, the grand finale of Dark Souls 1. I'm excited. Are you guys excited? I'm excited. Very end of my very first Let's Play.
Go on. State your wish.
Let us
Very well.
warp.
Be still. Entrust thy flesh to me.
Shout. There I go. And drop. Wunderbar. Alright, Firelink Altar. As you can see, rest at the Lord Vessel. And now, before we finish and go on, I'm going to use all the last of my souls to try and level up. Alrighty, now we're gonna level up that strength one more time, and now we're gonna offer, well, actually, we may as well do this nice and proper. Reverse hollowing. Yay, humanity. And now, offer souls to the Lord Vessel. The last soul given, the way forward is now open. What do you have to say about this?
Magnificent. You have followed my teachings faithfully. You are the true Lord of men, the Dark Lord. Now go forth and rid us of that enfeebled Gwyn. My path shall await you here.
Sure thing, buddy. So, as he said, we're now on our way to taking on the enfeebled Lord of Light, Gwyn. Cool little thing about this area, you've got these, like, knight dudes who wander in between here. They're like silver knights. Not exactly certain what these guys are. I think these are supposed to represent the Silver Knights that went with Gwyn and stayed by his side when he waged war against Hell or something. Because they're all Silver Knights. And it leads directly into this place, so I think that's what they're supposed to represent. Which is weird, but cool. Now we have a kiln of the first flame. Look at this place. It's so cool. Like, you want an epic final area? This is it. This right here. It looks like a giant coliseum at the end of the world. It's amazing. I love it. This entire landscape, absolutely caked with ash, surrounded by gigantic, daunting walls. And who even knows where this is? Right? Because, like, you have to warp to get here. And considering it's, like, daylight out in Anor Londo, but it's, like, sunset here. So, that either implies it took us a while to get here, or the sun's just not moving, and it's just that much further away, which is equally insane. So, who even knows where this place actually is? All we do know is that this place looks amazing. And if you're wondering, there are enemies here. Yes, there are. It is populated entirely by Black Knights. Which means this is a good location to get their weapons and armor, if you don't have any of that already. I already have the weapon from that I want. And I also dropped Titanite chunks, which is good. I just never get enough of this place, though. It's so cool. Got him. Come here. Come here. Yes, you have a big sword, but so do I. I'm gonna hit you with it. Aha, missed. And backstab. Get it. Red Titan. Yeah, since it's kind of last chance we've got. Actually, I was gonna raise my humanity to see if I get the armor sets, but what I've got, I love, so I don't care too much. Now, of course, whatever proper way existed before is long collapsed now. Now we gotta walk over these decrepit architecture pieces that look very nice. Oh, we do have this guy coming here. Take damage. Take damage. Oh, not that nature. I think that's the way forward, actually. Come over here to grab this. Ooh! The full Black Knight set. I forgot that was here. Forgot they just gave you the whole set. What does it compare? Ooh, it is actually kind of better. And so was the Sub-Knight set. Why did I... Yeah, now I'm looking proper. Right? Oh, but I'm fat rolling. It's even worse in the way. The hell was I going to do? Okay, cool. You do. What do I look like with this on? The Boar Knight. Doesn't look as good. Actually, what about the Silver Knight set? Okay, it looks kind of good. Actually, I think I'm gonna do... Yeah. Okay, this looks really good, actually. I like this look. Alright. I'm now the Ironborn Knight. Just in time for the finale. Mwahaha. Epic. Now, over here, we do have a summon sign for Solaire. So yeah, if you saved him earlier, his final summon sign is here, as he is your final ally at the battle of the end of the world. Kind of. Maybe so. Not really. You know what I mean, huh? Over in there, you can see him right there. Gwyn himself, with his giant flaming sword. So cool. Alright. Let's get to it. Oh, more Black Knights. Hello, friend. Come here. Ooh, you've got an axe. Die! Oop. Damaged me. But now you're dead. White Titan chunk. And you have a polearm. Damage. 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 And death. Yay. Blue Titan chunk. Alright, go up. Over here. There's no further to go. Right here we have the boss himself. Now, before we enter the boss, there is some things I do want to discuss. Mostly the story as it has happened. I mean, I know most people are aware of this, so you can probably just skip ahead if you want to, but, you know, maybe stick around to hear my interpretations of the story and whatnot, and what I know. That'd be cool. And for those of you who don't know, so I'm sure at this point you're probably confused about the grand story of Dark Souls 1. What is it about? What's happened? And why are we here doing this? After all, the only thing they really explicitly tell you is to restore the first flame, kindle the flame as the chosen undead. But then, you know, obviously I showed you guys Framped, and he's like, no, don't do that. It's bad, actually, because, you know, Gwyn was a liar, and he's trying to deny your age. Kind of complicated, and if you're not really paying attention and reading lore things, you won't really understand what it all means. So, let's, you know, review from the beginning. First things first, Oscar frees you from your prison in the asylum and tells you that there's a prophecy about the undead going to Anor Londo, ringing the 2 bells of awakening, and learning the fate of the undead. That fate, by ringing the 2 bells of awakening, basically proves that you're the so-called chosen undead, and your fate is to come to the bonfire and link the flame. But of course, if you remember Iron Tarkus, whose armor I'm actually wearing right now, you'll know he got ahead of us. He was in Sen's fortress, and you could summon him to help you fight the Iron Golem, which means he got past it. Especially notable because you find his armor set not too long after that in Anor Londo, in the painting room, remember? So doesn't that mean he got to Anor Londo and got past us? And furthermore, there's Solaire and Siegmeyer. They both made it to Anor Londo. So what does that mean? Well, evidently speaking, the whole prophecy of the undead and being the chosen undead, that's all one great big lie. Created by the gods and perpetuated exactly so that we will eventually gather strength, come here, kill Gwyn, and relink the flame to prolong the Age of Fire. But, if you listen to Framped, he'll tell you that the next age to come after the Age of Fire is the Age of Dark, the Age of Man. Because if you remember from the intro cutscene, the furtive pygmy gained the Dark Soul. And the furtive pygmy was our ancestor, and thus all of humanity has the dark soul. Thus the age of dark is our age, the age of man. Now, this seems conflicted by the Artorias of the Abyss DLC, considering the fact that the humans that were there got turned into big old monsters, and, you know, those madmen that were in Ulasil, and Manus himself was a gigantic monster corrupted by the Abyss. Doesn't that mean the Abyss is evil? Well, if you believe my interpretation and many others' interpretation, that is symptomatic of the Abyss gone wild. Because if you remember, the flame was fading until Gwyn sacrificed his soul to link it and thus prolong the Age of Fire, thus denying the Age of Dark, because Gwyn feared nothing more than the dark. And with the Age of Dark denied and suppressed, it's believed by many, including me, that in doing so, it caused the dark to go wild, mad even, in terms of its suppression. And that the only way to heal the world from the threat of the Abyss and the undead curse is to put an end to the Age of Fire and invoke the Age of Dark. Who knows if that's really true? After all, we never really see anything happen when the Age of Dark begins. We never get that chance. All we do know is that we have a choice to make once we beat Gwyn. And I've chosen to try and give rise to the Abyss. Because in the end, I believe that is what's best for the world. Instead of lingering in stagnation with the Age of Fire, we shall progress into the unknown. But before we can do that, we've got to take out the guy holding us in place. The Lord of Sunlight, Gwyn. Now, the Lord of Cinder. A once valiant and noble king, now nothing more than a decrepit old man gone hollow. One so weak and pitiful that, if I can do this right, unlike almost every other boss in the game, you can actually parry him. I think that's gameplay showing just how weak he's become. No grand fight, no epic conclusion. We are merely putting an old man out of his misery. Now then, what to do? Well, as you can see, the fire's gone out. We could link it, and indeed some others will. Solaire, in his own world, is destined to link the flame. And perhaps that's beneficial to his future. But as for us, we will simply walk away and venture into a new age.
Bless thy safe return. Let Carth and Frampt serve your highness. We are here to serve your highness. cast upon the world. Our Lord hath returned.
And there it is. The finale of Dark Souls. A game beloved by so many, regarded as a masterpiece. And it's no wonder, after all, this game is practically the father of its own genre of games, the ever-known Souls-likes. A game taking place in a world of mystery and wonder, of deception and truth. A world that so many have dedicated their lives to studying. A world so fascinating that even long after this series has come to a close, there are still so many finding new mysteries within, discussing new theories, new lore, and praying that one day it may yet return. As for me, this series, this game, is a personal favorite. I've played many games throughout my life. I've returned to many games that I've completed time and time again. But out of all of them, I think I've returned to the Dark Souls series the most. Dark Souls 1 in particular. Because although later games in this series will have more advanced action and more high-tension battles, more incredible fights and sights and lore, there's something about Dark Souls 1. Something about the way the world comes together. Something about the characters you meet along the way. Something about this journey that you take that no other game has really ever managed to replicate for me. The way how, throughout so much of this game, it is just nothing but yourself, wandering through a ruined world, left to wonder what this place was like in its heyday. A place now full of the undead, and yet hinting at so much of what it once was. That mystery, that idea of all that has happened in this world, it's inspired me to create my own stories one day. Stories that maybe one day I'll be able to share with you guys. Who knows? Only time will tell. As for me, well, I do have other things in the works. After this, I think it's obvious what game we're going to be moving on to, so I won't even bother saying it. But for now, I leave you the grand finale of an incredible game, and the names of all the countless people who helped make it. Thank you guys for joining me on this incredible journey, watching until the very end of my first Let's Play. And I hope to see you guys next time. Peace out.